Hello, I'm Stephanie Prelwitz, the CEO of the Green Lake Association. If you're watching this, it's likely that you're interested in our RFI about phosphorus and duckweed mitigation. So this is meant to be a quick 5-minute introduction to our lake, our approach, and what we hope to hear from in terms of RFI applicants. The name of our RFI is Phosphorus and Duckweed Mitigation Solutions, Technologies, or Systems. So this work all revolves around Green Lake. Green Lake is located in the United States in central Wisconsin. Our watershed is that neon green watershed you see there, 107 square miles. We are within the Lake Michigan watershed, as well as the upper Foxwolf watershed that drains to Lake Winnebago. Green Lake's claim to fame is that it's the deepest natural inland lake in Wisconsin. The lake is 7,660 acres, and its maximum depth is 236 feet deep. On average, our lake is about 100 feet deep. Because of Green Lake's great depth, the lake stratifies into warm and cold layers. So we have a series of panfish and lake trout that exist in the lake. Using more recent data, the lake's retention time is 15 years. And though this is a glacial lake that is 17,000 years old, and it was once a oligotrophic, the lake is now classified as a mesotrophic lake. This is at the heart of our approach. The lake's water quality is declining, and rather than waiting until we have a eutrophic lake that we're trying to respond to, we're trying to be proactive in intercepting phosphorus. Green Lake's water quality is showing warning signs, and it comes down to two primary concerns. Both of those concerns tie back to phosphorus. So we have high phosphorus levels at the surface of the lake because of Green Lake's deep depth. We have a strict water quality criteria of 15 micrograms per liter. Its recent 5-year average is closer to 18 micrograms per liter. And that may not seem like a big difference, but pre-development concentrations were probably around 11 micrograms per liter. Green Lake also has something called a metalimnetic oxygen minimum at its thermocline. And for that reason, in 2014, the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources listed Green Lake as an impaired water body. The DNR has established baseline water quality criteria of 5 milligrams per liter, and Green Lake's lowest dissolved oxygen readings vary year to year, but there are years when it can get quite low, such as in 2012, when it was 0.2 milligrams per liter. The Green Lake Association completed a multi-year study with the U.S. Geological Survey and Michigan Tech, and we were able to confirm that this metalimnetic oxygen minimum was in fact tied to phosphorus loading. So when you're worried about phosphorus, you often think about the watershed. Green Lake's watershed is 107 square miles, and you can see that it's primarily agricultural with some very small towns within it. This watershed has an impact on the lake. We have high quality data that confirms that the lake receives about 20,000 pounds of phosphorus loading a year in total loading, and about 16,500 pounds in controllable phosphorus loading. We know this because there's an extensive network of USGS stream samplers throughout Green Lake. In dark blue are the active gauges, in light gray are the gauges that are now no longer active, but we have historic data. So our phosphorus budget, we are able to measure very well. I mentioned that lake study with the USGS and Michigan Tech, and it confirmed that to remove the lake from the impaired waters list, we need a 60% reduction in controllable phosphorus loading based on that 16,500 pounds that I mentioned earlier to remove the lake from this impairment designation. When we think about phosphorus loading, we of course think about watershed management. And so we are working actively with our lake management planning partners to implement a series of robust practices on the landscape. And some of those practices you can see here, including the development of a 9 key elements plan that was approved in 2002. And that 9 key elements plan has been excellent in getting grants for practices on the landscape. So in 2023 alone, our partners were awarded $1.1 million in best management practices. But when you have a lake whose water quality is changing, we'd like to take the approach of being proactive. It takes a lot of behavior change and time for these practices to catch up. So we are encouraged that the lake study also found that approximately 80% of our phosphorus loading flows through 2 pinch points. On the east side of Green Lake, 48%, under the County Highway A bridge through the Silver Creek Estuary, and on the southwest corner of the lake, 29% under County Highway K bridge through the County Highway K marsh. And you can see a picture of those 2 pollution pinch points here, as well as kind of indications of the degradation of those systems. We see a lot of exciting potential here to take advantage of the fact that 80% of our controllable phosphorus flows through these 2 pinch points. And that philosophy is really behind the heart of this RFI. We would like to explore innovative solutions to harvest phosphorus, intercept phosphorus before it has a chance to reach Green Lake and degrade its water quality, in part because of those pretty significant phosphorus reduction goals. We've considered 5 buckets for this intervention, but we really encourage applicants, if you have something that doesn't fit in these buckets, we do want to hear from you. The first is to address internal loading through sediment inactivation, using chemicals to cap areas of internal loading, likely within those 2 primary inlets, the Silver Creek Estuary and the County K Marsh. The second approach is to treat high phosphorus concentration in stream through some type of phosphorus interception. We're aware of an example of this, for example, in Lake Rotorua, New Zealand. The third approach is a offline treatment or a nutrient reduction facility similar to what exists in Dixie Drain in Boise, Idaho, diverting a portion of the stream and treating it and returning that cleaner water back into the waterway. The fourth approach is wetland restoration, and primarily we're thinking of this for the County Highway K Marsh, which, as you can see on the left picture, is a very degraded system. It is managed for carp, and those numbers are improving, but there are few macrophytes. It's algae dominated, a lot of wind wave energy there. And the fifth approach, though again we encourage all ideas, is to harvest duckweed, which is produced in the Silver Creek Estuary, as you can see here, and really to nuisance levels that are hindering navigation. And during a large rain event, when water levels quickly rise, you can see how that is whooshed under the County Highway A bridge to result in duckweed that really doesn't dissipate. And of course, that duckweed, as we know, is full of phosphorus. So one idea is to harvest that duckweed. The Green Lake Association is behind this RFI. There are 15,000 lakes in Wisconsin, about 500 lake associations. We are the largest lake association in Wisconsin. Most lake associations are volunteer-driven, but we have a team of dedicated staff who are singularly focused on improving the lake's water quality. Of course, our work isn't done in a silo. We work very closely with our lake management planning partners, as well as universities and state and federal agencies. So thank you so much for your time and your interest. I encourage you to go to the Green Lake Association's website or the Water Council's website for more information. We really look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much.